Annual Disability and Activity Survey, Secondary Analysis. Regional and demographic influences on sport and physical activity, disabled and non-disabled people's experiences and representation. Reports released in 2025. Activity Alliance is the leading voice for disabled people in sports and activities. Our mission is to improve opportunities to be active, empowering disabled people to get involved in the way they choose. We lead research on related topics so we can share insight with others and help drive meaningful change. Our annual Disability and Activity Survey, ADAS, provides in-depth insights into issues that matter most to disabled people about sports and physical activity. It complements Sport England's Active Lives Adult Survey. We have led ADAS for 5 years. With all this data, we can explore new trends and gain deeper insights. This report is based on data from 10,411 people surveyed between 2019 to 2024, including 5,113 disabled people and 5,298 non-disabled people. We worked with the data analyst, Fawcett, to understand what regional and demographic factors affected disabled people's experiences to take part in sports and activities. Key findings. Experiences of being active. Across all regions, only 5 in 10, 51% disabled people agree that they have the opportunity to be active. Disabled people with mental health problems are less likely to have the opportunity to be active compared with other disabled people. 7 in 10, 69% disabled people agreed that they enjoyed the last time they took part in a sport or physical activity. Disabled people in Yorkshire and Humber, 75%, are most likely to enjoy being active in England. Disabled women are less likely to have enjoyed the last time they were active compared with disabled men. Eight in 10, 80% disabled people agree that they would like to be more active. Disabled people in the east of England, 84%, would like to be more active. people with mental health problems or a mobility impairment are more likely to want to do more activity compared with other disabled people. Advice and information on being active. Health and social care professionals, 79%, are the most likely source of advice for disabled people to be active, followed by personal contact, 37%, and sporting or activity sources, 31%. Disabled people with a mobility impairment are less likely to seek advice from a healthcare professional, whereas someone with a mental health problem is more likely to seek advice compared to other disabled people. Disabled people are most likely to find information about sports and activities on the internet and online, 53%. Followed by personal contacts, 38%, and sports and leisure organisations, 37%. Disabled people who enjoy sport and activity are more likely to seek information online than disabled people who don't enjoy being active. Representation in sport and activity. Disabled people in lower social grades, are LGBT+, are a woman, or are aged 65 and over, are less likely to see themselves being active than other disabled people. Disabled people aged 65 and over and disabled women are less likely to see themselves working in sports and activities compared to other disabled people. Ethnically diverse disabled people are more likely to see themselves working in sports and activities compared to white disabled people. Older disabled people, aged 65 and over, and LGBT+ disabled people are less likely to see themselves volunteering in sports and activities compared to other disabled people. Younger disabled people, aged 16 to 34, are more likely to see themselves volunteering in sport and activity. Recommendations. Further our insight and learning across regions and place. Experiences of being active across regions vary for disabled people. Activity Alliance will use this insight to influence our work at a regional level, working with partners to advocate for disabled people and address barriers in being active. Organisations should work with Activity Alliance and together across regions to share best practices and develop insight that underpins disabled people's local experiences. Develop intersectional insight and learning. Activity Alliance will expand on this analysis in future years by continuing to collect data through our Disability and Activity Survey. We will share these findings with our partners to continue to address gaps. In the knowledge base and further explore disabled people's local experiences in sports and activities. We will have a clear focus on demographic factors that highlight stark inequalities. Address intersectional inequalities across disabled people's experiences of sports and activities. Activity Alliance will use this insight to inform regional work, policy and campaigns. Focusing on improving the experiences of disabled people. This is particularly those who are female, LGBT+, by promoting inclusive practices and supporting partners. Partners, providers and policymakers are encouraged to use this insight to adopt person-centred approaches. Address systematic inequalities and create more accessible and equitable opportunities to be active. Equip health and social care workers and ensure online activity information is relevant. Disabled people rely on various sources of information on being active. With health and social care professionals being the most likely source of advice. Connecting these professionals and those across the wider health and social care sector with sports and activity organisations across regions can enable a system where disabled people have greater opportunities to be active. Information about how and where to be active, especially online, must be relevant and up to date so disabled people know where to access local opportunities. Expand representation of disabled people across the workforce. Organisations should take steps to make paid and voluntary roles in the sport and activity workforce more accessible and appealing. This is especially to disabled people who are older, LGBT+, or female. By adopting flexible practices, removing barriers, and involving disabled people in shaping inclusive workforce solutions. Government support is essential to streamline access to work and develop inclusive employment policies that enable disabled people's participation in the workforce. To view the full regional and demographic reports, visit our website www.activityalliance.org.uk/research. Please contact our research team to discuss how to access, interpret, and use the data. Email research@activityalliance.org.uk